What's up, everyone? Welcome to the June 29th edition of DraftKings Tournament Plays presented by PrizePicks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, use the code AWESOME when you sign up and make a deposit at PrizePicks. You'll receive 1 free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum. You'll also receive a 100% deposit bonus up to $100 on that first deposit. We have a 7-game MLB slate tonight. As usual, we're going to take a look at 3 of the top tournament stacks and 3 of the top tournament pitchers. Starting with the top 3 stacks, number 3, the Toronto Blue Jays are taking on Nick Pivetta tonight in Toronto. The Blue Jays are projected for 7% aggregate ownership with a 7% chance of being the top scoring stack. Pivetta has been a solid pitcher for the Red Sox so far this season. He has struck out 24% of hitters. He has a 3.97 xFIP, but he does seem due for some regression in the power department. His actual ISO allowed to both left-handed and right-handed hitters is quite a bit lower than his expected ISO allowed. And this is also a pitcher that has struggled with home runs previously in his career, but has only allowed 0.91 home runs per 9 innings so far this season. Toronto's active roster has a 113 WRC plus and a 173 ISO. Number 2, the Minnesota Twins are taking on Cal Quantrill. Quantrill is one of the weaker pitchers on tonight's slate. Only a 15% strikeout percentage, 4.82 xFIP. He has done a pretty good job of keeping the ball in the park with only 0.94 home runs allowed per 9 innings, but Minnesota has plenty of power in their lineup. Their active roster is tied for 3rd in WRC plus at 117 with the Astros. They have a 166 ISO as well, projected for 7% ownership with an 8% chance of being the top scoring stack. And number 1, the Atlanta Braves are taking on Ranger Suarez in Philadelphia. Suarez has only struck out 17.9% of hitters, 4.15 xFIP for him. The Braves are projected for 5% ownership with a 10% chance of being the top scoring stack. They are without Acuna and Albies, but still have plenty of right-handed power in this lineup. Their active roster has a 115 WRC plus and a 204 ISO so far this season. Now looking at the top 3 tournament pitchers, number 3, Sandy Alcantara faces the St. Louis Cardinals tonight in St. Louis. Very difficult matchup, very difficult spot, but it's only a 7-game slate, so there are limited good pitching options, and several of those good pitching options are also in difficult matchups. Right now, Alcantara is projected for 20% ownership with a 21% chance of being a top 2 pitcher. He's $10,000. The Cardinals' active roster has a 123 WRC plus, only a 19.7% strikeout percentage. So far this season, a 3.45 xFIP for Alcantara and a 23% strikeout percentage. Number 2, Hunter Green, projected for 32% ownership. He has a 21% chance of being a top 2 pitcher, but also an 18% chance of bebeing a top 2 value pitcher. He is very mispriced here. He has the 2nd highest strikeout percentage on the slate behind Shohei Ohtani at 28.9%, 4.11 xFIP. He also has nearly a 10% walk percentage, so there is some risk there, but you're getting a matchup against the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs' active roster does have a 107 WRC plus, but also a 22.7% strikeout percentage for Green to take advantage of. And number 1, Kyle Wright, he's only projected for 14% ownership with a 22% chance of being a top two pitcher. He's $9,500 taking on the Philadelphia Phillies in Philadelphia. Tough ballpark to pitch in, but it is a watered-down Phillies lineup without Bryce Harper. Their active roster only has a 95 WRC plus and a 23.1% strikeout percentage. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks on tonight's slate: number 3, Toronto Blue Jays; number 2, the Minnesota Twins; number 1, the Atlanta Braves; and the top 3 tournament pitchers: number 3, Sandy Alcantara; number 2, Hunter Green; and number 1, Kyle Wright.